Life can change in a split second. On Monday, the day that I was involved in a motor vehicle accident or collision, was one of those moments that tested my faith, my courage, and understanding of what truly matters in life. One moment I was in control of the wheel. The next, I was fighting for life to stay cautious, surrounded by flashing lights and silence. In that moment, everything that I've ever taken for granted, my family, my dreams, my health, my next of kin, sharply came into focus. My name is Mr.Selfcare. This week on Monday, something tragic happened to me while leaving work, going home, almost a kilometer from home. The details of what happened, I cannot disclose due to personal confidence and the matter still being under maybe research and investigations. But I picked lifetime lessons that I would love to share with everyone watching this video. Everyone knows that I don't smoke, I don't drink, or use any substances that could intoxicate my brain or understanding. But the way things happen in life, something happens so fast that you cannot actually explain what exactly happened. One moment, I was 4 minutes from reaching home. In just split second, I was fighting for life, cautiousness, and surrounded by lightings and silence. The vehicle destroyed from inside, engine out, the radiator bursting, airbags disturbed, the underside of the car literally getting off the upper side. From the outside, it looked like the car was nice, but underneath it, everything was powering down or everything was out. What did I learn from this moment that almost ended my life? Number one, the lesson of fragility. Friends, from that moment, I learned that life is not guaranteed. Every second that we live is a gift and not a promise. Surviving the accident made me aware of my mortality and the delicate line between life and death. That one moment you're fine and saying goodbye to friends at place of work. Your family is at home expecting you. And just 4 minutes away from meeting that family, you're fighting for life. The car was literally moving at 35 miles per hour. So it clearly shows that every second you have today watching this video is precious. And we've got to use it well and appreciate God for that second or minute. Don't take it for granted, because there could be another person fighting to just have that second of life. This incident taught me the value of every sunrise, every conversation, and every hug and embrace I get from people. It taught me that any minute, any time, every conversation that you have, people, could be the last one. Every hug you receive from your loved one could be the last one. Every smile you give to people could be the last one. Every moment you spend with those that you love or people around you could be the last one. The biggest question to you and me is, if the last moment you had with people that you love or people that you care for meant to be your very last, how did it look like, or how do you want it to look like? So many thoughts kept running into my head. If this was my last moment, had I said a goodbye to those people that I care about, to my family, to my friends, to my workmates? How would they remember me? How would people remember the last conversation that I had with them? And tears kept rolling into my eyes. I remembered people who asked for forgiveness, and I thought I would forgive them after some time. I remembered people who had planned to call a few weeks back, and I couldn't call them because I kept promising myself I'll call them the coming month or in December. I remember the time my daughters kept asking me, Daddy, come back home for this weekend. And I kept promising her, oh, I'm going to come close to December or after December. I remember the promises I've always made myself to go to beautiful places at a certain given time in the future. At that moment, I realized that maybe I was so wrong to think that I could plan for life ahead and ignore the present life. Number two, the power of attorney. I remember when I got out of this situation the following day, I had a beautiful discussion with one of the people that I respect so much. That is one of the beautiful ladies here, the wife to my brother. And she asked me very pertinent and yet hard questions. With that beautiful smile, she asked me, Richard, we thank God you survived this accident. But what if the unthinkable happened and you died? Number one, who has your power of attorney? Who is supposed to make the medical decisions and the financial decisions for you in case you cannot speak anymore? That's if you're dead or you're in a condition where you can't talk. Say you're brain dead and on a life support. Who is supposed to make those financial decisions for you? That seemed like a simple question. Because if I asked you the same, maybe you'd say, oh, so and so. The other question is, do you have that written down, that you give this power to this person to act on your behalf in case the unexpected happens? That brought fear and shame to me. That however smart I appear, up that moment I'd never thought of power of attorney. Yes, I've written down things of maybe how I want a few things to be done in case God called me, like he had called me on Monday. But how clear are those instructions to those people to make sure you don't leave a burden behind to people that love you or the family closest to you? After the accident, I understood the importance of appointing a power of attorney, someone I deeply trust to make medical and financial decisions if I ever become unable to do so. This decision is not about fear, but about love and responsibility, but also caring and loving the people that I'm going to leave behind. With a board of Chimboa that can't speak anymore. However, a person who was working and a person who had people that he deeply loved, and maybe people that I would love to see happy even when I'm gone. I don't want my family to be burdened. I didn't want my family to be burdened with confusion and conflict during a crisis. Getting power of attorney is an act of peace for me, but also for the people I'm going to leave behind in case anything happened. This question is to all men, especially watching this, or women watching this. In case God calls you the next minute, or in case God called you the next minute and you die, who is your power of attorney? Who is going to make those difficult decisions for you? In case you wake up and you're brain dead, and there is an option of keeping you on a life support machine, say for 10 years, but you're literally dead, and there is an option of switching off that machine and you're buried the following day, what do you want to be done? If you decide that you want someone to switch off that machine and you're buried and you rest for once, just like me, who has that power to come and switch off that machine? If you have a name right now, have you written that down? And have you let those people know? Sometimes as family members, we leave a lot of confusion behind. You reach that situation, you want your children to do so. Who is that specific child that is going to do that? If it is your wife that is going to do that, have you put down that in writing so that if she does that, your family does not see her as someone who wanted to end your life so that they take your property? I know your life because you're watching this. And I want to use my experience of the accident to teach you something. Today you could be watching this and maybe it's the last time you're hearing anything, or it's the last time you're alive. Have you thought about writing a will? That accident taught me that I've been hardworking for whole of my life, for people that I love, for people under my care. Some of those are not my family members, but for some reason or the other, I've put them under my care. And I would love that if God called me today, they continue receiving the support I had planned to give them up the time I had planned to stop. But because I've not written that anywhere, who would think of those people to continue giving them the support? This could be you or another person watching. To some of you men, you've had children from more than one wife, which is okay due to your reasons. Have you clearly made it clear in your documents how you want those children, especially those that are not in the home where you are, some are staying with their mothers or your relatives or some other places, to continue receiving the support they are receiving? Who is going to give them that support and how? To friends of mine living abroad, we all know in the Western world, if I die, there are so many ways of burying people. Some are burnt into ash and the ash is transported back home. Some are carried as cargo on the planes. The whole body is taken back home. Some are buried in the sea, like Navy, where they can't drop your body in a coffin in the sea. Some are buried in the cemeteries in the different country, wherever you are. How do you want your body to be handled when you're gone? Okay, you want it to be transported to Uganda. Who is going to meet those costs? Because some of you are having life insurances at work. That means there is some money that's going to be given when you're dead. Who do you want to be in charge of transporting your body back home? Then how do you want it to be handled the moment the body reaches Uganda? Who is in charge? When you write those hard statements and leave them in a written document with people that you trust, you're helping make decisions after you're gone very simple. Again, I say this is not an easy discussion that we are going to have today, but something that I learned the day on Tuesday when I was saved from that accident, because Monday 7:15 p.m. was meant to be my last day on earth. Looking at how that car got damaged, looking at how it jumped bigger stones, engine busting, radiator busting and everything, engine ripping off the chassis and everything. I think God wanted me to survive such that I make this presentation. You're working so hard for your children, for your loved one, for your wife, for your husband. The biggest shame and pain will be that you're long gone and the people you've worked hard so much don't even receive anything that you worked so much to have them or to save to make sure they have in moments or in conditions where you cannot be there for them. So, to friends watching this from wherever you're watching this, especially those abroad like me, make it easy for people if you're gone. To young people in their 30s like me, who may think death is very far because you're 30 and because you don't want to make these important decisions. I faced death on Monday evening. That up now I still recall of the way things happen. And I can't believe I survived. Again, make it easy for people around you. Write these things down. Give them to people you trust. Or put them in an envelope that you believe they will be seen. Or get your lawyers and give them to them. Think about the properties that you have. How do you want them to be distributed after you're gone? If you're married and you want to leave your husband or wife in charge, put it in writing, because some of us are coming from families. I'm not talking about my family. My family is organized. But some of you are coming from families where people are aggressive, where people are mean, where people are going to grab everything that you've worked hard for, where people are going to chase away your wife or husband. Some of you women have rentals, secret rentals. But when you die, your sisters, your uncles, your family is going to grab those things away that your children may suffer, not knowing their mom or whatever left rentals behind. Make these to protect the interest of those that you want. The third lesson that I learned out of these circumstances was life after death. That's a new understanding. It could be confusing to so many people depending on what you believe in. This near-death experience made me reflect on what might be beyond this life. I no longer fear death because I faced it on Monday. I see it as a transition from this physical life to another life that I don't know. Whether it's spiritual journey or eternal rest, I've come to believe that the legacy of love, kindness, and memories that we will leave behind is what truly continues to live. I've understood that. that when I transition from this physical body and love, what is going to remain is the love that I shared with those closest to me or people that I've interacted with. The memories that I've created with people. At this moment, I want to apologize for people that I've hurt, for people that have been hurt by my actions. Find this time to forgive me. I've tried to make phone calls to everyone that I think I annoyed because I realized that at that moment, if I'd gone, the memories that I was going to live with these people was hurtful. And that's what they would keep remembering about me. Friends, life is short. Let's mend the bridges that were broken because of our actions. Let's keep pride aside because it can take away the good memories that we had with people. I don't care if those people were wrong and you're the right person. If you believe a certain argument or confrontation you made with them broke the bridge that you had with them or the relationship, find a wise way to make it. It is okay to apologize even when you're right. Because when you're long gone, it is the memories, the kindness, the love that you shared with people that is going to remain in their hearts. I want to ask you a pertinent question. If you die today, where do you think you're going to go after? Now, this answer is going to determine on what you believe in spiritually. As a Christian, I have a belief that I'm going to meet my Creator. The biggest question is, am I ready to meet Him? Was I ready? Not to make anyone scared, but I want you to close your eyes and ask yourself, what do you think is going to happen when you transition from this physical body when you're buried? Do you believe that this is the end of everything? Do you believe that this is the end of everything? Or you believe that there is life after death? Now, whatever you believe in as a person, I want you to start to work towards that. If you're a Christian like me who believes that there is life after death, start working on your relationship with your Creator. Because trust me, anytime you may be called back home. Whatever you believe in spirituality, whatever you want to believe, that's up to you. But I believe that there is a time you're going to transition from this physical life to another form of life. So I want to give you a kind reminder, start preparing yourself for that transition. Dear Lord, I pray that you forgive me. Renew my life. Forgive my wrongdoings and prepare my soul to meet you from today onwards, because I know it can happen anytime. Remove my name from the book of the dead and put it in the book of the living. I believe in you, God, as my personal Lord and Savior. Amen. If you're a Christian, just say that prayer and work on your relationship with God. The reason number four of what I learned from this accident experience that I would love to share with whoever is watching is my loved ones and children. The thought of leaving my children, both biological and non, behind broke my heart more than any physical pain I was feeling that time. It reminded me that the best inheritance I can leave behind isn't the material wealth. It's the value, education, and unconditional love that I have with these children or my loved one. I want them to remember me as someone who loved them deeply, forgave quickly, and never stopped believing in them. When I got this accident and I moved out of that car, I thought of the last words I had with my child, my daughter. I remembered all the time she had told me that I need to see you. I remember the recent birthday. I remember the phone calls we've had. And all the time she has asked me to come back and see her. I remember the time she pushed me to the airport when she was 3 years. I remembered the people that love me every day, that keep telling me every single day how much they believe in me. I thought of a moment where my girl who took me to the airport, and that girl that I've always promised I'm going to go back and take her to Disney. I thought of a moment where she's taken to the airport to receive her daddy's body in Chicago. To the people abroad and in diaspora, have you ever thought about a moment where you board to leave Uganda, seated next to your wife, taking selfies and happy, and that moment when you die, and she has to go book your body in Chicago and sit alone in first class, business class, or whichever, and travel all the way from that country where you're staying right now back to Uganda alone? Think sitting in the cabinet, but knowing that her loved one is in Chicago. When the airplane lands and everyone is getting out, she has to go to cargo and clear cargo of his or her loved one. Have you ever thought about that moment? Even if that flight is 20 hours, it will be the shortest flight he or she has ever attended. When I thought about that maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday, my 5-6-year-old daughter would be at the airport clearing the daddy she escorted at the airport in the cargo section. That broke my heart, and it made me realize the value and importance of time we have with people, and why we should do everything possible to make sure we are kind, to make sure that we show love to those people that love us. Because there is a time when those people have to go to cargo or have to go to mortuaries to claim our body. I told you the discussion today is not for weak-hearted, but it made me reflect on a number of things as an individual and the relationship I had with people. The other thing I thought about was about the people that are dear to my heart. Maybe I don't have a spouse, but I thought about the people that would be there during my recovery if I'd gotten bigger injuries. In those moments of weakness, I saw the true partner, what true partnership means. I saw my brother and the wife do everything possible to make sure I was safe. Right from advising me on how to report the incident to authority, helping me do the things that I had to do, People abroad know the things we do in case you're involved in such instances. No one blaming me, but everyone willing to give me every kind of support that I needed at that moment, because it was not a moment of asking what happened, how, but a moment of people supporting me. I saw that. I truly understood that my brother loved me so much as his last brother. When I got the accident, I texted people who I thought had to know that moment. 5 days on, there are people who saw those messages, blue ticked them, and up to now, they have not yet responded. It clearly showed me one thing, that sometimes we are stuck with people that actually put our contacts of WhatsApp in their locked list, that maybe once in a month they open and go through. There are people who immediately called me. Chamagero Andrew immediately called me, all the way from wherever he is, and the wife Linda. My friends Malka, and so many, a few people that I may not mention, that called me. And there are people, like up to now, that I sent messages on blue tick. They are blue ticked, nothing. It clearly showed me the people that love me. I've learned to communicate better, to cherish the bond I have with those people, and to ensure that my family, especially my brother and those people I love, know my wishes and feelings, both for life and beyond. They now know if God called me tomorrow, what exactly they are supposed to do, and which wishes of mine they are supposed to have. I now know who to call. And just like any person listening to this or watching this, in the case of emergency, who do you call first? You will be shocked on who you call first and who responds first. There are people you underrate in your life, and there are people you overrate. But I want to tell you, there are people who will be there regardless. And amazing, some of them are the people you take for granted currently. I want you to look through your list of inner circle again. Edit it, re-edit it, because you will never know who is there or who is going to be there for you. I've seen, and I believe I came face to face with death. I now know who to call when things happen. I'm not here to scare you, but just to give you a conversation that anything can happen anytime. There are people we see on social media and we think we know them so much. When I was looking through my list of who to call, I realized that there are people out of the 3,000 contacts I have in my phone. There are not even 20 people my brain was telling me to call at that moment. It showed me that sometimes we are in a big crowd, but when calamity sets in, not even 5% of those people in that big crowd are willing to come your way. It gave me a reality check. And at this moment, I want to appreciate everyone that came through for me. My family, My sister called, all the way called from Uganda to make sure I'm fine. And the rest that came through for me to check on me to know how I was doing. My nieces and cousins, my family, I won't mention names, but you know what you did. Sometimes in that moment, people don't need finances. They just need to know that people care about them. Number 6 lesson that I learned from this instance was the issue of brain death and medical decision. The following day, when I was feeling much better, in my reflection on my own vulnerability, I decided if I ever suffer brain death with no chance of recovery, I want my family to honor my decision to let me go peacefully. I don't wish to be kept alive by machines indefinitely. My life should be defined by how I live, not by how long I am sustained. So with that, the people closest to me know that if I ever get brain dead, I want to be let rest. I want to rest. Unless there are chances of recovery by medical doctors. So what do you want to do? What do you want us to do with your life in case you find yourself in that situation where your brain is dead, but maybe the heart is still pumping? And who do you want to make that decision? Lastly, bury your wishes. If the time comes that moment made me realize also a lot of things on bury your wishes. When I was asked, which kind of burial wishes do you want to have? Do you want to be kept for months? What kind of burial wishes do you want to have? It made me realize and to reflect on life again. That when you're dead, irrespective of how helpful and some beautiful you've been, people want you to be rested or to be put somewhere so that their life can continue. So be humble enough. There is that time when a meeting is going to sit, when people are planning on how to get you rid of you because life has continued. So it came to my life to reflect that if God ever calls me, I want to be buried in a simple, dignified way. No lavish ceremonies, just peace, love, and reflection. I want my burial to be a celebration of my life, not the moment of endless sorrow. Let there be stories, music, and gratitude for the time that God has kept me on earth. I don't want to live burdened to my loved one, my children, of people that I will leave responsibility to. To the person listening in right now, what's your wish? And who knows about it? How do you want it to be handled? And if you think you want a lavish or expensive burial, who is going to meet these costs? Don't complicate life for people you're leaving behind or your children. You want to be buried, okay, you want to be buried in Muyongo, Muyenga, on whose land? So, when you make these plans, you're leaving, you're a smart person, and you're actually making it easy for the people that you're going to leave behind. Again, my name is Mr.Selfcare. If you've not subscribed to this channel or page, please subscribe. Today, it is life reflection of what I reflected on that moment when I survived that accident. Lesson number 8, travel and burial costs. To ease the burden on my family, I realized I must take steps to plan ahead. I must have a plan to cover my travel and burial arrangement through different insurances and savings. I've seen too many families that struggle financially when they lose people. People are grieving, but also they are thinking about the financial implication of this burial. I don't want my family, especially children, to ever face that. So I want to plan ahead. I think it's an act of love to those that I will leave behind. And again, I want to call men and women today, especially those living abroad, who is going to cover your travel and burial costs. If you have a life insurance, leave a rating or that says, out of this money, this should go to my burial, travel, and insurance. Because trust me, that day is going to come. It may not be today. It may be in the next 50 years. But trust me, that day is coming. And every single day, we are moving close to that day. So let's show love to the people that we are going to leave behind, especially our children and wives, or husbands, all those loved ones, or societies where we live, by starting to save a little thing in insurance about our burial, travels, and arrangements. Lastly, the gift of gratitude. Surviving this accident told me the gift of heartbeat of healing. I now wake up thankful for breath, movement, and purpose. My accident wasn't just an ending, it was a rebirth, a reminder that I must slow down, forgive more, laugh often, and live a meaningful life. I've now realized that every second I live on earth is a gift. And I want to tell all of you that are watching in or that are listening in today, every time you go back home, either from work or from a trip, each time you set your foot back into your house, celebrate. If you're inside the house, welcome back those people with hugs and gratitude, because it's not a must that everyone must return home. I now know the value of returning home, because this dangerous calamity happened just almost 4 minutes from, not actually minutes, I think about 2 minutes from where I stay, about half a kilometer from my residence. So each time you get back home, thank God for the grace of getting back home. Returning home is not guaranteed. My final reflection: the accident that nearly took my life gave me a new one. It stripped away all my pride, fear, and material obsession. It left clarity, compassion, and faith. If my story of surviving this accident taught anything, or learned anything, I could summarize them into 4. Number 1, prepare for tomorrow, but live fully today. Prepare for tomorrow, but make sure you fully enjoy today, because tomorrow may not be guaranteed. Number 2, love your family loudly. Love your family loudly. Number 3, leave behind peace and not confusion. Write down documents that you think are going to leave behind peace and not confusion. If you're a man watching in or listening in, I want to ask you to make sure if you have properties, make sure you've organized them well today, because you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. If you don't leave that, you're leaving behind confusion. People are going to chase away your wife. People are going to promise how they are going to look after your children or child. By the next 3 or 4 years, all the property are going to be sold, and your children will even never know how hard you worked for them. So leave peace, not confusion. Leave documents clearly showing what you want to be done for who and when. And lastly, never forget that survival is a second chance to become the best of yourself. Surviving gave me a second chance to become the best of everything. I believe that there is a reason why God spared my life. It could be because I wake up every Sunday morning and Thursday to talk about Mr.Selfcare, teaching people how to live a better life and improve my life. It could be because someone out there prays for my life every day. It could be because of the little kindness maybe I showed people. But it could also be because maybe God saw I wasn't ready to meet him. Whichever the reason God spared my life, I believe he gave me a chance to become better and to live a better version of that. Again, my name is Mr. Selfcare. Thank you so much for watching this. And as we end it, I didn't mean to scare you. I didn't mean to scare you, but rather to use my experience to tell you a story, something to reflect on, to make sure you don't make mistakes that I should have made if my death happened on Monday, 7:15 p.m. May God bless you as you reflect on whatever we've had today or shared. I pray that you, as a man especially, you make better decisions. You, as a woman watching this, you don't hide things from your husband or hide them from your children, because today may be the last time you live. And trust me, that man is going to rot mu kibiina ky'abakyala or in that women's circle, minus anyone claiming. That man is going to remain on that mobile line because your wife doesn't know your PIN. That man is going to remain on that hidden account that you're hiding away from your loved one. And I'm telling you, people are going to be suffering, not knowing actually there is money that you are hiding from them. Every day is precious. Let's remember to thank God for those moments. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and I pray that you continue being with me every Sunday morning and Thursday morning as we continue to inspire people. Remember, self-care starts with you, and you're responsible for your own life. May God bless you and have yourself a blessed day. Goodbye. See you next time.